Hi everyone, Deb here. Welcome to Monday Makes, which is a collaboration I'm doing with Stampin Girl, and it's card making with a theme, where each month following a theme we make 3 to 5 cards, or however many we make, kind of minimum of 3. It's not meant to be like, kill a pad or something, but you can if you want to, but it's more just to make 3 or 5 following a theme of cards. And you can make any style cards you want as long as they follow the theme. All right, and this month it was Thinking of You or Floral, but I combined the two, okay? So I have Thinking of You and Floral cards. I used the True Beauty stamp set. Mostly I used the dies, although on the inside of the cards I did use these 2 stamps. I don't think I used any of the other stamps in there, but you know what? I hadn't used this. Oh, yeah, the leaf too. I hadn't used this at all, the stamp set. I think I used the dies before because this goes with the Awash in Beauty Designer Series paper and 2 of the sheets in there. This is almost a half of one. The dies cut all these pieces out, and I cut the ones out where the leaves and things are off the paper. Now I wouldn't do something necessarily like that or like these, but I would use that one, excuse me, and this one. I don't know about these. I might, but I might cut that leaf off, excuse me, and same here. Anyway, you get the idea, and this one I definitely would use. So I used that. I did decorate the envelopes. One of the cards, 2 of the cards. One of the cards I used this paper, and I used it on an envelope also. One of the cards I used this paper, which is the granny apple green texture look on the back. And then how I started was, there are 2 sheets of the paper that when it comes like this, and I cut it into 4-inch strips, so you get 6 pieces of 4x6 out of one sheet of 12x12, and I cut both of them up. So these are all 4x6 panels. I had 12 of them. I still have 8. I used 4 of them. So I have 6 cards for you today. So let me just get started. This is retiring, and so is this stamp set. And then I also used, for the last 2 cards I'll show you, I used this Thinking of You from the Go-To Greetings, which is carrying over to the new Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog in May, early May. And for the first 4 cards, I used this Simon Hurley Spellbinders Thinking of You. This is one of my new cutting dies from the Everyday Sentiments set. I love this. And yeah, so I use that. So let me show you my first 4 cards. They're all similar, but just a tad different because of the cut aparts and things. This was the first one I did. And on this one, I used these pops of color. The pink, it came in a pack from scrapbook.com of pink, mint, and sort of a pearly white. They are pearlized dots. They take a little getting used to, and I didn't do so great. Plus, they take a long time to dry. Like I dried these overnight before I'm recording this. This is a scrap of paper, which I think is the back of this, but don't hold me to that. I'm not sure anymore. I did the coordinating envelopes. This paper is a different paper, and it's on the back of this paper, which I had to bring in to do the envelopes because I didn't have any more. I was thinking if I hadn't cut the second sheet of this, I could have just used this bottom part or something. I don't know. Anyway, I did the envelopes, and I also stamped on the inside of all but 1 card, I think, with the 2 stamps I showed you. One of them I just used the leaf one down at the bottom corner and the flower. And that's done in granny apple green and polished pink. Polished Pink is a retiring color, as is Merry Merlot, as is Saffron. Mossy Meadow and Granny Apple Green are continuing. I don't know if I missed any or not. This is Calypso Coral, and that's continuing. So that's the first one, and then the second one I did was this one, because this might have been the first. I don't know. I kind of did these two at the same time. Here's where you see I used some of those pieces that were cut along the edge, both this leaf on here, the second leaf, and this blue thing, but I like how I did that. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, this is the Pretty Flowers embossing folder. I don't know what I did with that right at the moment, but it's retiring also, and it's really pretty. It is a pretty one, and I'm not sure where I put it. Okay, and all the white part of the Thinkings of You, if you have some of those 12 by 12 pieces you don't know what to do with, remember I had, like, if you watch my channel at all, when I did my coffee theme stuff, I had 3 of these large sheets left, and almost done one of them. I did all my Thinking of Yous out of this, and it's a nice thick cardstock, so I still have that much and a couple little pieces here left, but I did use a piece that I was using as a scrap tester, I guess. I did use a piece in the inside of one of the later cards. So this one, this is backed on Mossy Meadow 4 1/8 by 6 1/8. These are the 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 Memories and More cards and envelopes from Stampin' Up. They come with that size, and then the 3 by 4 or 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 size cards that you can put 3 by 4 paper on, or Memories and More cards, which are like Project Life cards. So this one I put it on Mossy Meadow, and this is the only one I think that I did 2 of the whites. You don't need to do that, especially if you're going to bump them up. These are all bumped up on Stampin' Dimensionals. The edges I was trimming around. And I will tell you that the mini dimensionals perfectly fit in, like underneath where these eyes are, the bottom and top of that F, where the little tail is. They perfectly fit because the background is nice and wide. And then I just put all these gems away, but I have them. I'm going to tell you all at once. The gems I used were these Fun Flower resin shapes, which are retiring. This color, Fresh Freesia, is continuing. This is Starry Sky and Parakeet Party, which has another year. And then I think this is Calypso Coral. And this, I don't know if this is So Saffron or Daffodil Delight, but they're retiring these. So I used those on this card. I used 2 of the yellow and 1 of the little Calypso Corals up there. And I think that came out cute. This one I used the, and I think the next one too, yes, I used the Brushed Brass Butterflies. I believe those are carrying over. And I used the Pearl Basic Jewels on this one and this one above the eyes. I don't like putting those little white papers on the eyes. I did on this next one, but they're retiring. I think the iridescent pearls are carrying over, but the plain white ones are not, which is ridiculous. But anyway. And then these 2 are on the last 2 cards. So that's pretty much it. The strip here is 1 1/2 by 4 1/2, and all of them were run through the Pretty Flowers embossing folder, which I had out, and I don't know. I don't think I put it away yet, but I did something with it. I'm sorry. I don't know where I put it. But anyway, all of them were run through that, which is a really pretty, I don't think it's 3D. It's just a regular embossing folder, which I like sometimes. I don't always want so much added dimension. This was the last one I did, and all of them have the flower on the inside. Some of them have this paper, and some have the other side of that paper, which is this Mossy Meadow. on the envelope flap. So that's the first 4. I think they're really pretty. I need a lot more practice using those pops of color dots. And then the other 2, I had in my paper folder that I keep all the paper in, I had this piece, not the envelope size piece, but this piece, which this is the back of, already cut to an A2 size card, and it was vertical. So I made a vertical, it was horizontal, so I made a horizontal. More of the cutouts from the paper. I used the dies and used that one sheet of paper. Well, there's 2 of them. Let me find it. There's 2 sheets like this, and the dies cut out all the shapes, and I do cut some of the ones along the edge. Like I would cut this one. And this one, I might cut those leaves off. I don't know about this, because unless I cut that leaf off maybe and kind of stop it here, I'll have a shortened version. I might do that, but definitely I would cut these out with the die. I cut as much as I could out of the paper with the die. So I still have a whole sheet plus this much left that I can use with the dies. So even though the paper and the stamp set's retiring, I'll still use it. So these 2 papers, this one was already cut to the right size, and this one was too, but this, it was the back that I think I had cut it for, which was all granny apple green. But I decided to use the floral part, and then I had another scrap of the light blue, 2 scraps. And this light blue is the back of this paper. It's balmy blue, and that's continuing color. This is on Mossy Meadow card base, and it's just cut 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2, and then you cut 1 1/2 inches off. This is based on a card I made at a Stampin Up meet with my demonstrator a couple weeks ago, and here it is. It was using the poppy set and some of the other papers. Not the poppy papers, but yeah. So I kind of used that design, but I used the Awash and Beauty paper. This is retired Mossy Meadow trim. I actually had bought it when it started to retire, and I love it. I have it in real red too. They're both retired. And these gems, these blue ones here, I have 3 on there, are these blue adhesive back gems. And I thought I used them all, but because 3 of them were sticking out down here. These retired like a year ago or so. So now I turned it this way so I can see what's in there. And this one, I used these 21 to 23 in color opal rounds, which are retiring because all these colors are retiring except Fresh Freesia, the purple, which is transferring to the subtles category in Stampin' Up. But Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent, Pale Papaya, and Polished Pink are retiring, so I used the Polished Pink because that's one of the papers in the colors in the paper. And again, that ribbon. And these were the last bits of the die cuts from the paper that I had a stack of to use to make all these cards. This one is the one that's the back of that paper that I cut all the Thinking of Yous out of. And that is 4 by 3 3/4. And I believe this is 4 by 4, I'm pretty sure, on the front square, I think. And it might be 4 by 3 3/4 also. Yeah, it probably is, because we cut 1.5 inches off over here. Which, on the Mossy Meadow part, this is that. On the designer paper, this is the other part, and I flipped it over. And then I had another scrap of the blue, and I stamped from the Go-To Greetings stamp set in Mossy Meadow. All right, so that's on both of those. And this piece, I think this is another one of these pieces, actually. And I flipped it over and stamped Thinking of You with Mossy Meadow. And in doing that, it sent me down a re-inking trip because Mossy Meadow was almost dry. So after I finished making all these cards, instead of recording right away like I usually do, I went on a re-inking spree. And if you can see, my fingers are a mess. And I did this a day ago. But this is the culprit. I brought out my retired Berry Burst. But let me show you this ink pad. I'm getting off topic, I know. I'm sorry. Can you see that? It's all like bubbled up or something. It looked like it had little bits of stuff. So I took like a baby wipe or a paper towel or something and tried to go over it. And what a nightmare. Berry Burst, see, got everywhere. So when that comes back, I'm just going to give up on that and get a new one because I'm not dealing with that. And I had two other ones like that. I think Blackberry Bliss might have been, but yeah, it was. It was Blackberry Bliss, but I had a new stamp pad I hadn't opened yet, so yay. And I had a new Calypso Coral, and that one was getting a little weird too. It wasn't as bad. And then I think the retired Rich Razzleberry was the other one, but I didn't even bother re-inking that one. I even re-inked some of the colors that are retiring because I still have them out and will continue to use them. And I have a spot, one more container for one more year of in colors, but honestly, I'm probably only going to get 2 or 3 of the new in colors as far as inks go. And those probably will be the mauve, the copper, and I'm on the fence about the boho blue because I'm kind of thinking, I don't know yet because I'll have to wait and see other people use it, but I'm thinking the Misty Moonlight stamped off might be close, or the Night of Navy stamped off twice might be close. I don't know. But I will get the cardstock on all the colors. The two I'm not crazy about are called something wheat, wild wheat, I think, and Pebble Path or something like that, which is like a dark gray. I don't know. Not my cup of tea. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry for the rambling. And please do go visit Paige over at Stmpgrl. She always has amazing projects for you, but that's where my head went after 2 or 3 different. I have a little basket on my desk of things, flour and whatnot, and I was having trouble deciding exactly what I wanted to do. But then when I started pulling paper out, this is what I wanted to do, and I just love those. I love the paper, but I also love those die cuts of thinking of you. So yeah, all right. Please go check out Paige. I'll get off of here, and I will see you tomorrow for Twinties on Tuesday, 21st Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Hugs, love, and peace.